My bad. Can you guys hear me now? Yeah, I think my mic was just disabled. It looks like you guys can hear me now. My mic was disabled because I was doing some no mic streams last night. I can't hear IG Lima. Don't know if he's in the call. I just can't hear him. Yeah, we are going. And I'm trying to pay attention to what's going on here. They both, obviously the getting the ball out, it's not a terribly difficult task. But Babbitt's is having a little tougher go of it than Empika. What's going on, Gio? Yeah, Babbitt's still kind of struggling to get this ball out here. Meanwhile, Empika is already confident in how he's getting the ball out. There we go. Now Babbitt's has it down into the build area. No, go ahead and start one, Murmur. Give it like 2 minutes and go ahead and start a prediction. People can use those Schmidt D11 clockwise wheels to bet. Ludwig, what's going on? Oh, I missed you earlier, Ludwig. How you doing? Okay, IG Lima just said he's having some internet issues. So for now, you guys just got my voice. Sorry about that. So yeah, they got kind of 3 tasks to do. The first one's pull the ball out, which is fairly trivial. The next one, not pull the ball out, pull the rectangle out to get the ball into the build area. And then they got to get that top right yellow rectangle out of the way. And then they got to get the ball into the goal. So the way I see it, it's kind of 3 tasks. Oh, there he is. I hear something.
Okay, I'm trying to swap a mic. I'm not using my webcam microphone. Does this work?
Yeah, sound good.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. I think somehow like the audio is like flashing in and out because it was just causing massive like CPU interrupts or something. So that just like everything, video, audio, everything was just stuttering like mad. Yep. Super weird. I don't know.
You're good.
I've been wanting to buy a new PC for forever. I can't justify. Look at the prices right now. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
So I've just been making do.
Meanwhile, Empika is flying. He's already got the ball down. He's working on getting that rectangle out. Honestly, what he had may have worked. But it looks like he's just trying to get it all the way out right now. But Empika is flying. I'm going to put some free... Oh, streamers can't predict. I have unlimited channel points, so I was going to put some channel points in there. But I can't do it. Okay, so you tell me your impressions of the level here.
All right, yeah. I had to pull the video back up. I think I saw glimpses of it, but it's one of those things like there's not a lot. There's not a real. You don't have to span a wide gap, but it's just a few somewhat difficult actions.
Yep. When I practiced, this took me like a little over 20 minutes, like already having a plan for what I needed to do.
Yeah, it doesn't seem as it's certainly a lot easier than the previous one, at least between ID and Cam last week.
Yeah, a little easier.
Yeah, this doesn't seem too bad because like here I can see like there's a bit of a gap between the right static and kind of the pieces that's stuck between. Like sometimes you can make it harder or easier to get out depending on like how much gap you give it there.
Yep.
And here you gave it some gap, so it doesn't seem too bad to get out.
Yep. That was the goal. Man, Empika already got both of those rectangles out. So now it's just a matter of can he pulp the ball in there. Trying to see where Rlbabits is at right now. Rlbabits has a slightly slower design. He has a little delay in actually getting his clockwise wheel to the rectangle, which might hurt him because every iteration of running that design is going to take a little longer.
Yeah, it's interesting. You can sneak the, like Empika did, you can sneak the one clockwise wheel through
Mm-hmm.
there and get it to get the bar off barely.
Yep.
So I was looking at that. I wasn't sure if that was initially possible, but
Yeah, he
it is.
found the right angle for it like right away. It took me a little longer, but I did the same thing when I was practicing. But this boy is quick.
And it looks like he's giving his pult a lot of weight. I don't think there's a line just to get it straight through on this side. I guess maybe you really throw it in hard and like bounce it off the left side.
There might be if he throws it hard enough, there might be a direct line. But he also might find that his clock.
Okay, well, yeah, there you go. He's got the whatever redirector at the end.
Yeah. He may find that his clockwise wheel is in the way, though. We'll see. Yeah, Gio.
It is a flat surface. In theory, you should be able to get a decent bounce off of it. And he definitely has enough weight to throw around.
Yep. His deflector. So the unfortunate thing is, if he hadn't had that deflector, the spin. I'm trying to think. The spin would not help him. Like if it hit the wall, the spin would actually make it want to go down. Is that right?
I think.
If it hits the left wall.
I don't know. It depends.
Did you see what just happened? Watch
Empika.
You might. Yeah. He's got plenty of power. Empika is cruising, guys. Holy crap, he's close.
Yeah,
he might just brute force it in there. And this might be over very quickly.
Okay, so I was thinking here, I think as much as this kind of goes against the speed idea, like I don't like these having to deal with the yellow static falling onto it every time. Like I just wouldn't want that variable. I would just intentionally like delay the ball all of like 50 ticks there, just so you don't have to constantly deal with that added uncertainty.
Yeah, I agree. It makes it hard to tweak when it's not a repeatable action.
Yeah, like that time it didn't look like it touched it, but
right. Meanwhile, Babbitt's is gonna have to decide whether he's happy with how that rectangle's coming out or whether he wants to get it all the way out. So Babbitt's definitely behind and in a rough spot here, but we'll see how tweaky Empika's final pult is. He's got his ramp going all the way to the ground, which makes it like if he just took his ramp.
Just add. You only need one piece. Yeah.
Right.
Just.
I feel like I'd make it a lot easier to consistently get onto his pult.
Yeah. You don't even need to spend two. You can just spend one.
Right.
Yeah, like maybe if you needed, like, I guess it depends on the angle you get in there. If needed, you could probably hang something off that left clockwise wheel.
Oh, true.
Some sort of like beneficial deflector.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Could get it, like that throw right there, you might be able to get that to work.
Yep.
Like I would save that right there and see if you just can hang like just a water plus like a wood
brown rod or two. Yeah.
At the bottom. Yeah. Just make
that's a really good point
in there.
We've talked a number of times. Sorry, what were you saying?
The throw is powerful enough.
Yeah.
So
the spin off the ball would not work for it. Like doesn't work in his favor, but it's powerful enough it would just work probably with the right angle.
Yeah, I can't quite tell. It's a little fast whether it bounces off the static piece there or not, or whether it just goes straight through.
It kind of looks like it.
Yeah, no, it does hit the static. Yeah. And that probably would be too slow. I feel like, but if you can get it kind of over the lowest one there and just more leftward, you can make that work.
Yep. Okay, so it looks like he's abandoning the pult to try something different with his pult.
I think he saved it at least, though.
He did save it, yes.
Okay.
Okay, it looks like it's just a different style of pult. He's going to get the ball into that little basket and try to pop it in at a good angle.
Yeah, he's probably trying to do one where like it goes up for a little bit and then like a chain catches it and kind of tosses it left, maybe.
Yep. It's going to be tough to get the angle, but I don't want to say it's impossible yet. Like he gets that.
You can get the wheel in there, but that's because he gets the convenient like momentum.
Right.
Slow and then push.
Right. And also that
straight line path.
Right. Yeah, Babbitt's is still struggling to get get that rectangle removed in a way that he likes. He's been able to push it to far enough to the right that you could squeeze the goal piece through the like leftmost side.
Or I see he's made it brown. I wonder if he's attempting to like make a ramp up and then in between the two yellow pieces or yellow wheels.
That's kind of what it looks like, yeah. Yeah, someone feel free to put in text chat, tell Babbitts to, or message him to run at double speed if he wants.
Yeah, I think I forgot to do that like until halfway through.
Yeah. Well, you're an old head. You're not used to it.
You're right.
Babbitts kind of is too, but also... Sorry?
It is funny how that works. It's a little like awkward how because of the game's like memory leaking and frame rate and everything. It's definitely not the most consistent 2x speed.
Right. Empika's still just going with the brute force method here. He might have to rethink things in a little bit.
I think he could have made what he had work, or at least something pretty close to it.
I agree. I really liked your idea of hanging a ramp off that left ball. Camaro and Gio are talking about how if you were able to get that, I think I'm interpreting this right, if you were able to get that left yellow ball to fall to the left more, you could actually use that to deflect the goal piece off of.
Oh, like if you get it to lose the... Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, even the right ball.
Again, I think the spin's going in the wrong way though.
Yeah, it'd be tough. But I mean, you can forego spin when you got enough power. He's got plenty of power there. That's a big brown weight falling off the left side.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know what his piece count was before he made that, but probably not too high.
Who we got in here? Gio's in here, Uberman, Camaro, or Murmur, Isaac. Oh, I said Uberman already. And two non-F-series at least. What's that?
That's how you pronounce it.
I call it Murmur, but
yeah.
people say RRR.
I like how you knew which name it was, too. I didn't even have to say.
Yeah. Oh, I think he just attached a basket. Yeah, okay. So Empika just attached a basket to his clockwise wheel. Let's see if he can work with that as a ramp, or what his plan there is. I was getting to you, Ari. I said two non-FCers, because then I was going to mention Ludwig and Area both popped in. I was getting to you. Sorry, I got distracted by the amazing gameplay here.
Yeah, the only thing about the basket approach is that now you get the two variable tweaking. In theory, it shouldn't be hard to get the static out and get the tweak to work, but
yeah, I agree.
I could see that like you get the basket the way you want, and then the static doesn't fall out with enough speed, and then it hits the catapult on the way up.
Yep.
I don't know. I get mad respect to anyone who does designs that rely on like multi-piece tweaking. Yeah. I always try and have everything separate as much as I can. I can't deal with it.
It's like those where anytime you're recycling a brown weight, where like you use a brown weight for one action and then you have that contraption fall off and reuse it. That's terrible.
Yeah, like they're really cool, but you got to be very smart about it. Like you got to choose your actions. It does wisely.
Right.
Like the quote unquote dumber the action it is that it's doing, the more you can get away with it.
Yep.
Like if it's just a weight to say like put a bridge up or something, not as bad.
Right.
But if it's something as tweaky as like a specific launch angle, or especially if it requires timing or something like that, no chance.
Yep. Murmur, thanks for your hard work. Someone got banned, don't know why, but I trust Murmur. Yeah, the ×2 speed is huge because it just, like, you don't need to see in great granular detail how your contraption's acting. And so if you need to slow it down, you can, but in nearly all cases, double speed is better than not.
I wonder if it'd be interesting how fast like you could make it go if you just don't care about the visual at all.
Right.
You know, if you just have like a hard drop button of just like, does this solve the level or not? Just give me a yes or no.
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, if you like took out the graphics, because I'm sure that slows things down as well, and if you just ran the calculations, that'd be interesting.
Because sometimes you don't really you don't really care the specificity of the tweak. It's just like this is the final shot. I'm just trying to get the angle right, and you just want to like tweak. Doesn't work. Tweak doesn't work. And a binary yes or no button would probably be useful there.
But have you been around and heard the term pixie dust much? I can't remember if that was we started using that term.
I don't think so. No, I know about. I did a bit of
Did you see that?
I did a bit of. In the reading I did. I know there's like the XML tweaking thing where you can tweak by like whatever, probably hopping into the window, right?
Yeah.
And like tweaking the specific numbers.
He's getting really close there. It doesn't look like it's going to have enough power as is. Like it swings the whole basket around. Oh, I could be wrong.
Oh man, yeah, because whatever you lose some of the basket is whatever not
right. I was gonna recommend.
It's loose, but there's a better word for it. Whatever, non-rigid.
Right. So I was gonna recommend making it rigid by like, adding a second rod from the bottom right of the basket to the lower joint of that straight water rod that the wheel is connected to.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll get through then.
No, but you could make the basket hang a little bit lower and even add like a second angle to it to redirect it more upwards. Ooh, but he is so close.
Yeah, it's painful. I wonder again, is it hitting the wheel on the way through there?
Like,
it doesn't look like there's much of a gap between the brown rod and the wheel.
I can't tell. Yeah, Geo says doesn't think so. I think I agree. I don't think it's hitting the wheel.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to tell at full speed.
He's so close. He's got an extra 14 pieces. He could make his pult stronger. Absorbs the momentum. That's what a really good way to put it, Gio. I haven't watched. I've been focused on Empika this whole time. Has Babbitt's even tried pulting the ball yet?
I don't know. I haven't been looking at his as much either.
No, he's still.
He's got like a pulp, but he doesn't even have the ball over there yet.
No, he's still trying to get a better way of getting that rectangle out. Yeah, that's a good point, Camara. He really doesn't need that. Empika doesn't need that rightmost clockwise wheel because you don't need the rectangle to get all the way out, just past that leftmost wheel, which it pretty much does without the second one.
Yeah. And are they separate mechs? Yeah, I think they are, right?
Yeah, I think so. Remember, this is the Pokemon Snap soundtrack.
That's the secret to streaming and making things on YouTube. You can get away with video game music because it's like, oh, it's video game music in the background of a video game he's totally probably playing.
Yep. Uberman, I agree. I think Babbitt's way might be a little more predictable and more like more easily tweakable. It's just taking longer to get it all set up.
I don't know why he has the little fork on the wheel. I feel like that's unnecessary.
I agree. I think he's just not terribly experienced with this type of thing and might think he needs it to help push it out.
You think he's that dumb with powered wheels?
I don't know. I just assume everyone's done with powered wheels until they prove otherwise, including myself. Man, Empika was showing like he was so close. That's just not the case right now.
Because admittedly, I was trying one of the levels you posted, one of the rejects you posted the other day. I think the first one, the non-rectangle goal piece one. And that one I was definitely using powered wheels for. And I was making multiple just kind of like dumb things of like, what am I doing with this? Is this how I should be using this? Or like, I used powered wheels for the first part of it, and then I was like, yeah, this is clearly causing problems for the second half.
Yeah.
I'm occupying the space of the ground with a wheel.
Empika's super close right now. I almost feel like, okay, this might help. He just added a second deflector to his basket. Whew.
But see, that's the tough thing about the basket, because now it changes the whatever center of gravity of the basket a little bit.
Yeah, so it changes the angle that it's sitting at when the ball hits it. Yeah, Gio, you do make a good point that the Babbitt's wheel was not getting much traction on the rectangle. Whereas with how Empika's is set up, he's pushing it like straight. He's pushing his wheel straight into the rectangle with a lot of force, and that wasn't the case for how Babbitt's had his set up.
Well, it's not that you need the force; it's just you need just like a little bit. You just need pressure on it.
Yes. Yeah, and Babbitt's has been struggling to get that. Man, I was worried Empika was going to have this solved in 10 minutes. I'm glad that hasn't been the case. I'm glad it is somewhat of a race.
Yeah, like if you want, I think I would just make kind of a, on the right side of the basket, just make it a bit heavier. And then that way you can kind of change the angle it rests at without needing to make it bigger and thus preventing you from kind of getting it in there at all.
I think he's listening.
I wonder. That was a little too opportune. I thought you told him to mute. Is he not muted?
I told him to. Let's see if I can deafen him. No, I don't think I can. No, I'm sure he's deafened. I told him to. And even so, there's no way he would have done that immediately after you said it. Otherwise, it'd be totally obvious that's what he did. Man, Babbitt's the way Babbitt's gets that rectangle out is just so slow and tweaky.
Oh, apparently he's not.
Yeah, he does not have the call deafened, but hopefully he has a sound off or something. We'll see. We'll ask him later. Oh, that's a good point, Camaro. If you were listening, he might have deleted the right wheel by now, or at least tried it out.
Well, no, he said, well, whatever. It sounds like he is not.
Yeah.
But you're right, yeah. Why didn't he delete the right one if he's been listening in?
Oh, he just deafened. He was totally listening because he just deafened. Unless someone... Okay, he figured it out.
I'll not do anything for 30 seconds to mitigate the effect.
Yeah, he figured it out. He's fine. He doesn't need to stop for 30 seconds. Although it looks like he kind of already did. That's okay. Man, it seems like he's having less luck now.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I was thinking right there.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of picturing, especially because now you can use that to adjust how far it kind of sits. Like that piece hits the static there now. Or I guess, what do you got? What's the proper name? I keep calling them static, but I've been using static to refer to both yellow and green.
Statics don't move, right? So statics are green, dynamics are yellow.
So static, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. I keep calling it, yeah. Rigid, not, yeah. Because the static and dynamic, yeah, have a slightly different distinction.
Right.
At my workplace. So that's probably.
Oh yeah, because you code, right?
Well, I do, but that's not what I do at work.
Oh, okay.
But that also would be something that could be occupying the back of my mind. No, I work as an automotive engineer for Jeep and Ram, and static is referring to like just the parts in nominal position, and then dynamic refers to things like in vehicle motion.
Okay. Man, Empika trying a whole new pult right now. Wonder what he's thinking.
It's not a bad job, all things considered. It's pretty cushy. It's very high level. Like I have not done any what you may call like low level engineering calculations. Like I occasionally have to bust out some algebra, maybe. Other than that, it's a bit more of like project management, just because it's such a huge corporation. Like back when I actually worked in a building, all those years ago, it's the largest private complex in the U.S.
Oh wow!
The only reason private is there is because the Pentagon is the only thing that's bigger.
Wow!
It's a huge building. And
it's all just your company?
Yeah, it's all. Well, I guess it's changed names like 3 times since I've joined. It's whatever, Fiat Chrysler Automobiles.
Oh wow!
But now it's technically Stellantis because they merged with Peugeot and other European automakers.
No, I didn't even know that.
Now it's like a massive conglomerate of however many brands.
Yeah.
Which has led to some internal going-ons over the past years.
Geo, I did solve it in 20 minutes. You guys got to remember, when I say I solve them quickly, the entire time I'm making the level, I am testing. And then,
yeah, and thinking about it. And
yeah, so I'm testing it as I'm going, as I'm building the level. And, when you're editing, you can do that test thing and build. And so it's not like, altogether, I put more than 20 minutes into it. By probably a fair margin. So... but I did have a slightly different ending than these two. And I think the difference is they're both going for somewhat of a brute force option.
No, see, Babbitt's he's got one part of the thing affecting the other thing. His ramp touches the pulp. No.
It's breaking the golden rule of tweaking.
Don't adjust the... he's having to adjust the weight. No, just adjust the ramp. That's let the weight be consistent and just adjust the ramp to control when the ball comes onto it.
Yeah. I can't tell if it doesn't seem like Babbitt's the rectangle gets out of the way. Is that out of the way enough? Maybe with a perfect angle, that rectangle will get out of the way enough for Babbitt's.
I think if he puts the little kind of deflector on the end of the pult so it goes more leftward.
Right. Yeah, very tight window. But if it works, he's down to just the timing of the pult.
Yeah, but he's cheating the pult a little bit right now. The pult comes up off the ground, and that's what gets it high enough.
Yeah.
If you watch the bottom right corner doesn't stay on the ground.
True.
It comes up with it. And he doesn't have enough room to make it longer. Not enough build space.
I wonder... Oh, and Empika just trashed that design. He's going back to the drawing board again, it looks like.
Oh, he's going way back.
I think he's trying to find the right one. The right whip design to work off of. Yeah, Babbitt's is suddenly looking very close. This became a match when Empika decided to restart. I don't know if his other design would have worked or not, but it does look very close now. Or like it's sort of changed hands, where now Babbitt seems to have the advantage.
He just types in the chat, "What am I doing?"
Empika did?
Yeah. Yeah, because the tough thing of this, yeah, I guess that is one of the tricks of this level, is that you either need to commit to having your rectangle mover do two functions, or you need to come up with some fairly clever mechanism to get the ball to launch up there independently. And I think that might be kind of what he's trying to do here. Like, I could see this being like, oh, I'm going to use one weight to like lightly push the thing over the corner, and then use the second weight to
yank
launch
down
it the
on
rest
it.
of the way out.
Yep.
This is, I would almost be tempted, like, yeah, I was trying not an easy way to do that. I was thinking, like, if you could get just a power wheel to just kind of toss the ball up there, but
Babbitt's has a perfect setup for easy tweaking. What I mean by that is my favorite form of tweaking is just tweaking the ramp when you're trying to get timing on a ball. But right now he's still, and he kind of had a good enough window based on his pult, but he's still messing with the pult, and I wish he would just mess with the ramp right now.
See, but the problem is that second part of the ramp touches the pult.
Yeah, you're right. He could easily change how it's laid out.
Yeah, just shorten the ramp and just give it like a. Oh, I guess he's at the piece limit, isn't he?
Yeah, but he has way too much power on that pult. He can take a couple pieces off of his pult weight if he needs to.
Like all you gotta do is just add the kind of one stick off the ramp so it just sits just above the pult.
Right, exactly. I don't know which comment of mine you like, Gio, but I appreciate it. I bet you were talking about the tweaking the ramp. Yeah, elevate the ramp.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like Empika is trying to do. Yeah, he's trying. I think he's trying to do the like 2-stage
lift up a pult to lay down on that.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. But does he have the pieces?
He's close. Yeah, I wonder what this is going to look like as it lifts the ball up there. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. It's not bad.
Yeah, but yeah, is it going to be sturdy enough to handle the second weight? Because you do need to pult it. You can't just lift it, I don't think.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, with that angle, it's not quite right. I think Babbitt's had the right idea of putting like a stopper on the end of his pult. Not a stopper, but just like a redirect. Like
deflector.
It kept popping on him, and if he had attached it to the center joint instead of the end joint, I don't know if that makes sense what I'm calling those, but it would have stopped popping.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to avoid having it just be like too thin. Which
Jelly, welcome.
Drives me wild. I don't know how guys do that when they have like so many thin parts of the design. They can easily kind of flex.
Yeah.
Like, or whatever you call it, when it like inverts, like you got a triangle and how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But then you give it a little too much force and it snaps.
I call it popping. Wrong joint, Babbitts. Wrong joint. He's trying it again. I think it's gonna pop on him again.
Like. It's also impressive when any designs use that intentionally. Like I think, especially like some of Babbitt's wilder mechs, I think do that where they like intentionally pop a joint.
Oh, there he goes. He switched up. Yeah, they have. Also, there's a famous design for Ken. Not famous. One of my favorite Brown Crowns design was one where Ken did it. It was like a Brown Crown 4 or 5 maybe. And I love when you can use it cleverly, but it's frustrating when it's happening on accident.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Jelly, you could commentate. You'd be fine. And Uberman's already done one, so I don't feel bad switching you guys out.
Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, I find this one, I swear, there's a lot more design loading going on in this one than there were in either of the previous. Like, I don't know if I did it all when I did mine. Like, I think I saved it, but I don't think I ever reloaded it.
Yeah, they're definitely, like, yeah, I do think that yours was mostly just a straight build, whereas they're both, well, definitely Empika are like going back to earlier phases of their builds.
And I mean, like, even in like the Cam ID match, I don't think there's too much of it.
Not a whole lot.
Like a few times. Yeah, I guess we're not too far into this, though. I guess we're at 40 minutes.
Yeah, and we started a little late, so it's just barely over half an hour, I think.
A little less. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So not too bad, but both of them are just having their own unique struggles right now. Like, both of them seem so close at one point.
Yeah, and they're both near the piece limit, too.
Yeah.
I guess the nice thing is neither of their designs are too long. Like, they're both in, like, reasonable, whatever, mid-hundreds ticks.
Right. So they can play them pretty quickly. They don't have to wait for anything.
I don't think I've seen either of them using my trick, though. Like, Babbitt seems like he zooms out every time. If you want to get it to run faster, you got to zoom towards where there's nothing on screen.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that. Do you play on Steam?
Yeah.
I feel like everyone has their own little superstitions about what makes it run faster. And maybe it's just each of our individual computers.
It could be. I mean, that could just be variable enough, but that's seemed to be... I think that was always a thing. I don't even know if that's like just a new Steam thing.
You might be right, because it probably, like... I wonder if the graphics engine has to run... Like, has to... I don't know.
Well, it struggles, especially when there's weights. And it definitely seems to correlate with the number of pieces on screen, but especially weights seem to drive it maybe even a little bit more.
Yeah,
but like, I swear, at least that's what it feels like to me. Like, if you have...
It's probably true for you. Yeah.
And you just like zoom into the corner where there's absolutely nothing.
Your tick counter you'll see moving faster. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, yeah. And like that was the trick to getting good recordings. I guess this is still probably the trick for anyone interested. Like if you want to get smoother recordings, you can get Cheat Engine and intentionally slow down the game to a certain rate. And then this will prevent it from lagging out on you, or rather it'll like stop trying to always run it at 30 and struggle to get there. So you can run it at say like 5 frames a second or something like that, record it and then speed it up in post to match the normal speed of the game.
Yeah.
And that's the best way, like if you want like really smooth recordings, you know, if you just need kind of whatever, a day-to-day one, but maybe if you're making a highlight video or something, that was the way I found was best. Sadly, I never got to use it in any of the YouTube videos I made. I recorded a whole bunch and then lost them all in a hard drive crash, and that was around the time I stopped playing.
Oh, that sucks. Were you like working on a new video, like compilation video?
Yeah, just of all my stuff. I had everything recorded between pretty much whatever my last video and when I quit. I lost it in a hard drive crash at some point.
Was your quit intentional, or did you just find like you just kind of became uninterested and it was like an unintentional retirement? If that makes sense.
I'm trying to think. I think it was a little weird because it was partly like the forum shifting when the OG forums died.
Yep.
But it was also just me going to college, and I joined a mini Baja team, and I spent all of my waking hours doing that.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. The best time of my life, probably. Just getting to design and fabricate a car with the boys, just all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up doing pretty good. Ended up getting a top 10 nationwide finish my final year. So
Oh wow!
I'd like to think we had somewhat knew what we were doing. It didn't feel like that along the way, but clearly, at least compared to everyone else.
Probably helped you get your automotive engineering cup.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's on your resume, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any like specific. That was the interesting thing. Like most guys who get into auto are there because they really like auto. I have no particular interest in cars over any other mechanisms.
Mm-hmm.
Like the thing I did for the Baja team was I designed the steering system, which is all just linkages.
Right.
And just it's a larger series of linkages that play together with each other. Yeah, it sounds familiar, right?
Yep. All them linkages. You've had tons of practice. Yeah, Babbitt's looks very close. Maybe I haven't been paying attention. I haven't seen a good pult off of his ramp yet. Has there been one that has looked?
I haven't seen one either.
Okay.
Because like he's got to get the ball right to the end.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You mentioned it earlier, but it raising the pult,
matters.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
And he still hasn't fixed the ramp thing. It's gonna bother me.
Yeah. He's going back to something. What's he going back to? I don't think he knows because all he has are A's.
This kind of guy that programs, you just got variable A, B, C, D, E.
Yeah. I don't know what it means when I look at it. Looks like some internet. Okay, there we go. We were kind of getting a PowerPoint from Babbitts, but now it looks smooth again. Well, I thought this was going to be over like 20 minutes ago. It's crazy we're still here.
Yeah. Well, that's the tough thing. FC tweaking, I feel like, is very Pareto principle. Like you spend 80% of the time in that last 20% of the stretch.
Yeah. With some designs, you spend like 95% of the time.
Yeah, I'll leave a lot more than that.
Yeah. Yeah, mine was similar-ish to Empika's. But what I did was actually just use 2 separate pults because you can do it with like very few pieces. So I got my first pult onto, and by pult, I mean like literally just a stick. So I got a brown rod up onto that ledge and then pulted the ball onto that brown rod and then yanked down on the brown rod to pult it into the goal. So it was similar-ish to Empika's, but getting the ball up there the way he is tough. He also, like, you can get that first rectangle out in very few pieces. And
if you really, like, optimize it.
Yeah, like, you don't need a heavy weight to get that first ball out. Because, like you said, you really just need a little pressure, and the wheel will do the rest of the work to move a rectangle.
Actually, that's a good point. Like, I don't know what you did for the first pult, but like you could just use one powered wheel at the end of like Empika's ramp there to get it up to the second level.
Yeah, exactly. I think I used a brown pult, just because. Yeah, I did because it was a stop. It was a stopped pult, like Babbitt's, not like Babbitt's right now, but like a pult where it stops the ball at the end of the pult and then just popped it in because it was consistent that method instead of having to time things.
Yeah, and I'm guessing, I'm trying to think then, but what for your like for the one that actually throws it into the goal? So did you just like?
I did have to time that one.
did you like push it up there with a weight first? I guess I'm trying to picture it correctly.
Yes, I did. So I used like 4 separate weights, 5 separate weights, but all like all pretty small.
Pretty light.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to cover much distance here. And I think they're clamoring. Empika's like pushed it up there, but like I was saying earlier, it doesn't have enough length to just push it. You have to get some throw on it.
Yeah, and his chain, Camaro mentioned it, his chain keeps like getting in the way and reacting differently every time, which is going to make it harder to tweak.
Yeah, that's a struggle.
Because the way his chain hits those statics is a little different every time.
Yeah.
Okay, Babbitt's has a stopper, not connected to the right joint. I still want it on the center joint, not the end joint.
That way's okay. That way's a little bit better.
It's better. Let me see. I want it on
and
this.
Plus, then you get
this joint.
You also get.
I want this.
You also get to the weird thing where like the order you put down the pieces matters.
Yes.
And
yes,
affects
it does.
like joint integrity.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, looking at it again. Yeah, in this case, yeah, if you made it bigger, then it becomes less of a problem.
Yeah, true.
But you're right. There's still nothing really wrong with it, and then you spend less. It's less heavy too.
Mm-hmm.
You got a shorter rod.
Oh, his bolts are interacting. That's tough. It might be Camaro. It might be long. Yours was over an hour and a half. It was like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, that was almost the full window.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. We're not even at the hour mark yet.
That was a tough level.
It was.
That was a tough level. I would definitely not have finished that. I'm fairly confident.
It was tough. The first retriever was definitely difficult.
Yeah, I think the other two rejects seemed a reasonable level of difficulty.
Yeah, I
just tried out one of them and got most of the way, and then the other one looked not too bad.
What I was worried about was people struggling. So the other one that had the rectangle was people figuring out a good way to cart it. For one, get it out and then cart it to the left. But I don't know if you can picture what that level was, but I struggled with it personally. I struggled with that level personally and found it to be more difficult than I thought it would be of getting that rectangle out and over to the left. So
yeah, it could be one of those insidious ones where it doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
And plus, I think we're all used to like having balls for the objects, right?
Yes.
Like I'd say that like, I don't know what the percentage is, but probably like 80+% it feels like use a round object.
Yes, I agree.
Piece.
Babbitt's. Oh, he did remove he went back to it. But yeah, he had removed the long part of the ramp, which gave him a little more working space for his pult. But then he went back to the long section.
He still has the ramp affecting the pult.
I know.
Still throwing me.
Oh, I just noticed. You're right, Gio. Empika went back to his first approach. And he's just adding more weight to it. I like it. Because he was practically there, right? It just didn't quite have the oomph.
It's pretty close. Yeah, I pulled up the levels, Schmidt. I can see what you're saying. Yeah, like the getting from the right to the left.
That rectangle.
That doesn't feel like it should be the hardest part of the level, but in fact, it probably is.
Tested a few things out, and either I am very dumb, which is possible, or it's not as easy as it looks.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like it should be too bad. It feels like I don't know, cart over there with a powered wheel, poke it out, just have a like brown weight, just yank it, toss to the side, and then just have a pult throw it the rest of the way.
Hey, Empika, finally got it.
All right. Goes back
There
to the
we
other
go.
one finally gets it.
There we go.
How long did it take him after swapping back to the old one?
Less than 5 minutes. Like it took him like another 2 minutes.